What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Civilization 5 European Conquest AI only battle. I thought we went into the last episode with a load of crazy wars going on, but we've got even more. Poland seems to be on a self-destruct mission, declaring on a lot of their big neighbours. They're now at war with Rome, the Huns and Germany, so we'll see how that goes. It seems to have been successful against Germany, and they will have help from Spain against Rome, so that should help them. But I mean, they pulled the trigger on the nukes against the Huns. I think they've used 2 now, which is ridiculously aggressive. But we'll see. They were very poorly planned for this, so read into that what you will. But anyway, Poland does have some more units over this way now to defend the city of Krakow. I feel this city here may be isolated. And to be honest, for the border's sake, it might be worth. If it goes to the Huns, it would connect a lot of these blobs. So it might be a good thing. Spain is, weirdly, they declared war on Rome, but they're over here. I don't know what the plan was there. To go round maybe, but a weird one. But Poland will just keep pushing through. Maybe they're just here as a distraction. Germany can't obviously attack the Spanish troops. Gives Poland kind of a free little bit of movement. Maybe that's what it is. The AI seems smarter than normal. I don't know. Well, apart from these rebellions that keep happening, but I don't know, they're just not grown at all into this area. It's like they actually understand they can't get into it. But there we go, the first Spanish city. I have no idea where that one was, by the way. Where on earth was that? Hispalis. I thought it would be around here, but Spain have taken a Roman city somewhere on the map. I cannot find it to save my life. I didn't know Rome had any super random cities, so this is catching me off guard a bit. Was it out here? Spain has settled out here. Where is that? I'm sure one of you guys is like, it's right there. I'm assuming Spain do not have that much. Oh, it's this one. Okay, sorry. A very random one to go for first. Rome also did at some point take Alexandria off Egypt. I missed that as well, but that's definitely happened now. As we go into another turn, I wonder, Assyria v Poland has probably got to be on the cards right now after this revolt. I don't know why they're choosing who they choose. I'm sure there's some sort of algorithm or formula for it, but Poland and Morocco have not been exactly close to any of the cities that have revolted so far. So there's a bit of a strange one. Munich comes with 2 manufactories, which will be very nice once Poland takes them. I believe that will happen now, as Krakow is continuing to be pressed, so they've got to be careful. But there it is, Munich falling into Poland's hands. I wonder how much of the borders they'll get with this. Would it be a little bit or a big chunk? Quite a big chunk all the way down here. Leipzig almost cut off entirely. But yeah, Germany probably going to lose these cities to Poland, even with everything else going on. I mean, if Poland can hold it as it is and keep the Huns at bay, then I think this has worked. I know they lost 1 city, but overall not too bad, and they're probably going to have to let this one go at some point, although the Huns are also leaving it, at least for now. But yeah, that'll be interesting. Rome retook this city, as did Assyria. It's just troops just sadly throwing their lives away pretty much here, as they're forced to fight this one. I don't really understand it. Rome has also snuck a settler down here somehow. Morocco, there's a desert oil well there, so they at least have access to oil and aluminium, and there's more offshore here should they want to use that, and more up here as well. So Morocco might be 3 is pretty good. I mean, considering when we were looking around, it was hard to find oil in particular. Morocco could be number 1 there, as Bremen is the next city, which was up this way, which gives all of Denmark over to Poland now, which means Germany is now limited to parts of Scandinavia and their southern cities. So Sweden may start to think about it the more damage Poland does. But yeah, that's certainly a big win. Poland now can leave the Baltic. Oh no, they still can't. Germany's still technically in the way, but that might change as Spain takes another city off of Rome. This one, okay, it was the nearby one, that makes sense. But yeah, I think Spain is serving as a good distraction to Rome, which will help Poland out a little bit. And in fact, on the border between Spain and Poland, this is very rare. Sorry, I should say Rome and Poland. Spain's troops are on the border between Rome and Poland. The AI is normally not this coordinated, but Spain actually did get open borders and come through and plugged that little hole in the border that Poland would have had to deal with. So there you go, Spain and Poland working together. Of course, the removal of Germany will see them border each other much more. They already share a fairly big land border. But yeah, Poland, I mean, it's timing, right? If they can get out of this, get these cities, you know, peace out, do whatever, it's fine. But obviously there is a timer, because in the east these guys are building. They have of course themselves just been busy conquering St. Petersburg, but still they'll be recovering. This time though, of course, the Huns will also be better prepared. Look, they've got all their cities surrounded with the units as well. So that's going to get messy if those two go after each other. I mean, there's not many small civs left, so all the wars are going to be pretty big now if they're border wars. Germany's getting there. Sweden, England and Egypt are kind of the minor civs left in the world. All the rest are pretty powerful. Morocco is probably like medium tier, and then the rest are all like big tier, top tier civs. That's how I'd probably look at it. Morocco just in the middle, nowhere really to go for them. I mean, they could take that Egyptian city on their border, but that's about it. So hopefully they can find some more to do, more excitement, or just defend themselves. But yeah, it does look like the Huns will take Kaunas here, but that's not a disaster for Poland. That's okay. Spain, I'm not sure why they're sending so many units this way. Interesting choice. Obviously it's Poland who is in the war. Spain pieced out with Germany last episode, so it has to be Poland that takes hold of these cities. So it is a bit strange, but it's whatever. England, Germany, the Huns, what can they do this turn? I feel like they're going to take it, you would imagine. What is Poland defending with it? We've seen them, they 100% used a nuke. They don't seem to have rebuilt it. There you go, the Huns do retake that city, or not retake, but take it. Don't see any other nukes yet, so Poland didn't rebuild them. Rome and Morocco have pieced out, and things stayed the same in the end. Obviously the city fell a couple of times, or at least once, but that's that. Poland actually retook the city of Kaunas, which is pretty good. And Rome also retakes Hispalis here, up here, but they are going to lose Caesar Augusta by the look of it, at least once. It might go a few times, because Rome does have some defending units. But yeah, if Spain could get up to the mountain range, sort of trap Rome in Italy, then focus on the Mediterranean, that'd be a good move. And yep, there you go, Caesar Augusta falling into Spain's hands. I feel like Spain is in a great spot. They can keep expanding without really running into someone that's too big. Even Rome, if Spain can, you know, get help from someone like a Poland, they're going to find that easier. And yeah, you can, compared to someone like Assyria, right, it's difficult for them to navally invade Rome. They could take out Egypt pretty quickly, and then Morocco, which probably would be the ideal thing for them to do, but they're not doing that. They're just going straight for Morocco with, again, little success. And obviously the Huns in the north is just a no-go. Going across the Black Sea and through the mountains will not work out for you. As we can see, the Huns starting to flex their muscles a little bit here. Even if they're not going to take anything else from Poland, they are certainly showing their numbers and force. Cologne could be next to go to Poland, but every time it's Russia's turn, Poland must be holding their breath, I think, because they're not going to like this. I mean, if it ended like this and then there was a break and it let Poland rebuild, they're going to probably be right up there, like above. Yeah, because we're getting towards the end anyway, tech-wise. So soon that tech advantage that Russia has will disappear. These guided missiles are, you know, kind of the only thing they have to show for that advantage, and some mechanized infantry units now. Poland has all the other units. I believe we've seen them use paratroopers. Yep, we have. So yeah, the main advantage Russia has right now over Poland is only guided, in terms of units, is guided missiles. And I guess that's a missile cruiser. It's trapped in a lake, so it's not particularly, it's not terrifying. It's just this huge amount of guided missiles that Russia has, which are of course fantastic for that day one. That would be really useful. Just launch the attack, hit a few cities really hard, but that's about all it'll do. And Poland, there you go, you can see it now. They have entered the information era as they grab the city of Cologne as well. But yeah, I mean, they're near the end too, so Russia's advantage will be cut down once they hit the end of the tech tree, and even the very end, apart from the giant death robot and the stealth bomber. You know, the last 5 techs don't make a huge difference to the military, so we might already be at that point, because, you know, Russia can't build a death robot, and the stealth bombers aren't, they're useful, but they're a little, you know, they're useful in different ways to the regular bomber, so it's not always worth the upgrade, depending on what you're doing, in my opinion. But there we go. Meanwhile, Rome and Spain, pretty vicious fighting as Rome tries to take back Caesar Augusta, and Assyria is still trying to take this city. But obviously Morocco just throwing everything at it. They only have to fight in this small area, so they have loads of cities feeding in units. They're going to defend just fine. They even have a tank unit, which I think will be pretty rare again because of this world's apparent lack of oil. Germany makes a peace deal with Egypt, not that that was a huge conflict. Syria has so much more as well that they're not throwing at this. Russia does peace out with Morocco. I mean, that did matter. They retook their city, of course, but it's not a huge peace deal. No one obviously giving anything up, which is good news. Is there hope, England? Is there any hope for you? I don't know, maybe you could take this off Sweden. That's about it. Rome does retake Caesar Augusta. Spain has a lot of fighters in the area, but nothing else. Just a bit of air support. I don't think Rome actually has any planes. Pretty wild. Oh, they have one. Oh, that's not a plane though. That is a nuke. We will see if they use it. It's plausible. We saw Poland use one, and usually civs will... It's very rare a civ uses one first, but obviously that kind of doesn't make sense in a AI only game because they're all AIs. But yeah, Poland using one first is genuinely... That was a surprise. Especially a defender is far more likely to use one than an aggressor, is what I mean to say, actually. Not that the AI don't use it, but yeah, Poland just straight up used one. Rome, obviously because it's a separate war, probably won't consider that, but that, you know, I mean, it would justify it, I guess, if you were to use one, which they have not yet. I guess normally they use it when they feel very threatened. Egypt has now completed the Manhattan Project. If they could get their hands, I don't know if they have, it doesn't look, oh, they do have uranium. If they can get their hands on this and build 4 atomic bombs or 2 missiles, that would be a deterrent, again, towards an Assyrian invasion further down the line. Leipzig is probably going to be the next city to fall. So that won't be too good. Spain hopefully won't get in the way of that. Yeah, that should go this turn, I think. I mean, if they've got it this way, far down. Anyway, this city will be a bit tougher through the mountains, but I think enough artillery will get the job done. Are they pursuing? They are going after Hanover here, which I think will not be enough still to give them access to the Baltic Sea. Spain has settled in the Shetland Islands. I think this map's obviously scrunched up. Probably Shetland Islands, and these are Faroe Islands, and this is Iceland. There we go, Spain just still taking land all over the map, but not having much more success against Rome. Which kind of makes sense. I mean, this city would be nice. If they could add these two, that would certainly, you know, small victories. You've got to do it in small steps. That is... Wait, these cities are 1 tile apart. I'm pretty sure that has big implications. That means you could settle... Actually, this is 2 tiles wide. I don't think you'd settle. No, you couldn't actually have a Suez Canal. Not that you'd need one, but I think it means you could settle here. Yeah, you could settle this tile. If you wanted to, Attila. Probably doesn't, but if you wanted to, you could. That last bit of oil right in the corner. Assyria did grab that other source over here at least, which is 5 oil. They have a uranium mine as well. It's only 2. do have some resources, but yeah, getting their hands on this would be lovely. Get yourself up to 10 oil, build some more important units as Poland and Germany ending the war, which they didn't probably get everything they wanted, Poland, but I think that's a good overall finish. They probably just missed out here on Leipzig, which would have been useful. Rome, though, whenever I was not looking, took Cologne, so that's going to obviously, they're going to have to go fight back for that. Spain could end up taking it, which would just make the borders even worse. And Morocco has snuck by, and instead of taking the city they kept taking, they've taken the other one. But yeah, Morocco and Assyria still going on this coast, still fighting it out. And Russia just sort of patiently waiting. I see them with the tanks. They must have got some oil from somewhere, at least some. But it still seems like they don't have an air force. They just have one-use missiles, helicopter gunships as well. They've got a nice little mix here. But yeah, those tanks could certainly be useful. They have quite a few of them. So I guess they got oil and then have smartly chosen not to build battleships in the lakes, which is, never mind, they have, but still, only 2. But yeah, focusing on tanks was a good idea. They probably could have done with more planes. But hey ho. They are kind of the peaceful one. Pretty much everyone else apart from them and, well, even them and England were at war with Morocco. But yeah, them, England and Sweden, the only civs in the world, I believe, at peace right now. Maybe Egypt as well. But yeah, the Huns, Assyria, Morocco, Rome, Spain and Poland, all certainly in wars. I guess Germany could be added to that list now if they're at peace with everyone. And I don't know, Sweden have less cities, but they're all bigger, so I think you'd have to, and they haven't lost all their army, whereas Germany has, so Sweden has to have the advantage if these two were to fight, and I think Sweden could maybe unite all this territory, but whether they will or not, I don't know. Depends if they like Poland, probably. The Huns have now para-dropped a load of troops into this North territory and are pushing into northern Polish territory, which will distract them, and it does look like Russia is mounting some forces towards cities such as Irkutsk. But there we go. As this city continues to be attacked, Warsaw has been nuked to the ground. Oh my goodness, I did not. Did the Huns? Yeah, the Huns have nukes, okay. Yeah, they paid the price there, Poland. Cologne does go back to Poland as Caesar Augusta goes back to Rome. Poland could get overwhelmed. I mean, that's pretty brutal on Warsaw. Oh wow. I like how the biggest city in Poland, though, I don't know what Warsaw was at before this war. I'm guessing it was similar to Łódź on 27 there, either a bit smaller or a bit bigger. Probably by the land a bit bigger, but that city in the Assyrian territory is now Poland's biggest city. This one down here is 29. It's quite funny. But anyway, yeah, that is brutal. But Poland, I guess they got, they had it coming. They used one aggressively against the Huns. The Huns get their revenge. Obviously, it just sucks that it's your capital, right? Attila's court is, thousands of miles away from that. Where even is it? There it is. It's about as far away as possible. It can be in a straight line. It's very far away. Whereas Poland's was very close to the border. We will see Krakow has now also been hit, so Poland is paying the price for their actions. I'm kind of, it's a shame because Poland was looking really, interesting how big Poland got with taking a lot off Germany. And this it's not the end of the world, but it certainly doesn't help losing, your 2 best cities in theory. I don't know how true that is. Poznan's actually pretty big, I can see up there in the corner. But, your 2 best cities in theory, your first and second, getting hit, although Gdansk is pretty good, Poznan's pretty good. A lot of these are pretty good, to be fair. And on this difficulty, if they don't go into any more wars and don't get nuked again, they can probably recover it pretty quickly as well if you fix the farms. But still, it's not ideal. And that is certainly not ideal for Poland. It was looking like it was coming. It looks like this will be a very focused effort to cut their empire in half. Gdansk is, that's the guided missiles just absolutely pounding the city, I would assume. Yeah, none of these units are ranged units, so it must have just been a pounding from guided missiles on the city of Gdansk, and that should see it fall to Russia, and that sets us up very nicely for next episode. Looks like Poland have overdone the mark, But that will be it for today. So as always, if you have enjoyed, be sure to leave a like and a comment down below. Be sure to subscribe as well if you are new to the channel, and I'll see you in the next one.